Hello friends, I'm SarahRose, and today I'm showing you guys how I paint noses upon the request of Kellen Vasquez. I hope I pronounced it right. They said, "I love the way you do noses, could you maybe do a tutorial and or give some advice?" So I said of course, I will show you that in my next video, and today is the next video. So I start out by finding a nose that looks nice to me on Pinterest, and I decided to sketch the whole face instead of just doing a floating nose because I thought it'd be easier for me. So I do the egg shape and then cut it into half, and then your nose is 1/3 of it. If you guys want me to describe the dimensions better, I can just request it in the comments and I can go over this in another video. Some facial anatomy, if you want me to do that. So for the nose, I usually start with a shadow and then I go in with some defining lines for the nostrils and like the septum. That's usually just how I start noses, but I realized that on average the bottom of your nose is the same length as your eye. It can be bigger or smaller, but I just wanted to try doing average dimensions. Of course, this nose does end up looking kind of small in the end. I just decided to make it a little bit bigger. Of course, you can't see that because the focus is off right now. But I got a new camera and I'm just trying to get used to it, so the focus is a little bit wonky in this video. But you basically, you get all of the main points that I'm trying to show you. So it's all good. So yeah, I just redefined the nose. Right now I'm using my Dixon Ticonderoga black pencil to do the sketch. Of course, it's not like freshly sharpened, and it also looks like I might have stuck it into a candle flame at one point, but hey, whatever, it's working. So I just quickly went in and made the rest of his face, defined his jaw, blah blah blah, just drawing a dude that I saw on Pinterest. Of course, I do veer away from the reference a little bit because I messed up on proportions because I was mostly focused on making the nose, and boy is it hard to make a nose whenever somebody requests it. Usually I don't think about noses, and I was like, God, I gotta do this. They asked me to make a nose and I gotta show it the right way. So yeah, I was a little bit freaked out. I don't know. Okay, so the base layer of skin, I put that down, of course, and then for some reason I jumped straight into hair. It's really high up on his head, looks like a toupee. Nothing wrong with toupees, but it just looks a little bit odd, so I try to fix it later. Right now I'm using the same skin tone color and defining the nose. Of course, I do blend this out later and it doesn't stay this shape, but I was just trying to, start getting some dimension in there. I'm also trying to make the forehead look smaller, of course, add some cheekbones. This guy's tired, so I put a lot of effort and maybe not effort, but a lot of color around his eyes, a lot of dark color. Who isn't tired? I'm tired. Oh no! My paintbrush was just stuck to one of my paints in my palette. It's all good now. So yeah, I'm just using a slightly moist brush. I take some of the water off with a tissue, and I'm gently patting, trying to blend in the cheeks with like the nose shadow and stuff, because I don't want too much water. That'll just spread it out too much and might end up pooling weirdly and all sorts of not cool stuff. So I am just very gingerly trying to blend it with a slightly moist brush, and the brush I'm using is a Daler Rowney Simply Watercolor brush in size 8 round. I use it a lot. I like it. I have a review on it. You can check that out. Everything's linked in the description box. Everything's linked in the description box. You find all of my art supplies along with my Pinterest and my Patreon and my other social media, so go check it out. Right now I'm still blending, just trying to soften up the nose because I didn't want the tip of the nose to be that defined. Of course, we're out of focus again. But like I said earlier, it'll get better again, and I don't think it gets super out of focus for a while. See, now the nose tip looks very skinny. We got a Jensen Ackles nose up in here. Nothing wrong with his nose at all, but I wanted to make a bigger nose and it just ended up looking really skinny. But besides that, I just mixed a slightly bluish gray color to define the bottom of his nose a little bit more and add more shadow. I typically add a lot of shadow under the nose. under my noses because I think it looks nice. Also defining the cheekbones and making this guy look tired. Woo, tired! I used like blues and some purple and stuff, and I'm also adding some cheek blush. I add more later. But, oh, let me take a break while that dries. I'm gonna eat some candy, some fun dip. Woo! Okay. Yeah, the painting was drying, so I decided to show you guys show you guys me eating some, opening up some fun dip. Who else likes the, of course, I think most people like the sugar stick more than the powder stuff, but if you like the powder stuff more, I'd be interested to know. You can comment that if you want. Yeah, this was yummy. It was a nice little break while the painting was drying. Yeah, alright, back to the painting. See, the tip of the nose is very skinny right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not what I was going for. So, I go with my brush, I try to define the sides of the nose a little bit more and make it understandable that the nose is not as skinny as that light part. I also go back in with a slightly moist brush and try blending that out. You'll see that later, but right now I'm just defining the sides of the nose and like the size of the nostrils and trying to define the overall shape, but of course I blend it out again because I want a more seamless look. So yeah, I'm blending it out. I'm using like mixtures of purple, blues, browns, just to, I just put it where I think it needs it. So right now I'm just blending out the tip of the nose, trying to make it look less like bright right there. Oh, and all of these specific nose parts are in real time. That's why it's so slow. Yes, I added some brown around the nose, and I am just blending it away with a slightly moist brush. Now I'm back around the eyes, making them look tired. Oh, the mouth, yes, some nice like pinkish, brownish tones, and I'm back to the nose again. This time I'm adding a little bit more brown shadow underneath the nose and around the nose. I'm just trying to slowly build up the nose into a more 3D looking, object like noses are. And I'm just defining that and blending out the tip of the nose a little bit more. Because I don't really like, I wanted the nose to be bigger like I said earlier, so I'm just trying to, not make the nose look so skinny. You can have a skinny bridge on your nose, you can do whatever you want, but that's just not what I was going for this painting. But this is just generally how I paint noses anyways, so I'm just going back in with a slightly moist brush and slowly blending it out. I just added some more of that purpley bluish color out to the sides, and I'm gently adding that. Now, of course, I mentioned this before, I always think the paintings look weird until I add eyebrows, so of course I added eyebrows, and this hair needs a lot of work. I decided to make the hair color more brown than like black, which I was going to do. And look how much hair it looks like now. It's so much. I eventually tried to fix it, but yikes, man. Now I am blending out his skin, trying to fix the ears. Of course, this is not an ear tutorial, so those are very, just shoddy ears, but they look pretty good. Now I took out my Daler Rowney oval wash brush, and I haven't used this since like that review, I haven't really used it much, so I decided to use it on his turtleneck and the background. I thought it would give me a nice smooth color instead of trying to work with the smaller brush that I'm holding in my hand right now. Yeah. So I'm just going back in, trying to define some hair, his eyebrows, oh gosh, his pupils. I always also think whenever I add pupils to things it looks a little bit creepier. That just might be me though. About this time, the nose is almost done. I'm just, like very gingerly adding more shadow around the nose and like on the cheeks to give the nose more dimension, like I've stated before. And yeah. I'm also going to come in with some colored pencils very soon. I'll tell you the names of those in a second. Yep, okay. I can just tell you all of the names. They're also listed down below, so don't fret none too much. I have sage green, berry red, cool gray, brown, and black, which I did not just show, but I also use black, and they're all by Prang. So, yep, I'm just trying to define around the eyes. I sharpen up the gray, you know, just generally going around trying to add, like, contour, of course, make those cheekbones pop. I also tried to darken the nostrils because they sort of got washed out with the numerous layers of paint that I put down. And I'm trying to define the edges of the nose a bit more, of course. And again, back to the speediness, you know. I think this is black now. Yes, I'm just lightly trying to define the shape. I don't want the nose to be super duper harsh, but I also want the nose to stand out against the face. So, going with berry red, adding more blush. Yes, he's so pretty. Trying to define the eye shape a bit more. I took some black, I dipped in a little bit of water, and made it very opaque. I don't know why these aren't watercolor pencils, but they get softer when they're dipped in water. So I did that. And I'm just very loosely going around the edges of this. Yes, very loosely going around the edges of the painting. And now I'm just, again, very lightly trying to define the shape of the nose and, you know, add more shadow, more depth to the shadow under his nose. And now I'm taking out my white pen, my Jelly Roll pen, and I'm going to add highlights to the eyes, around the tear ducts, and then right now my finger's blocking it, but I added some to the bridge of the nose and the tip of the nose to make it stand out a little bit more, and some hair highlight, and voila! He's pretty much done. Yep, just like I said earlier, just loosely going around, making sure, you know, everything's contoured and outlined, and that's it. See, I'm showing you here, the nose is 1/4 of the face, or 1/3. It's 1/3 of the face. Actually, it's supposed to be 1/4. I can talk about that in another video, just ask me. So yeah, that's basically how I paint noses. I hope you guys thought this was helpful, and you can request other things from me too in the comments below. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, you can like it and subscribe. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good week. Bye.